I always say that my piano is like an old friend, while like the guitar now is like my shiny new friend. I've downloaded Fender Play because I did the free trial of it, and it actually really suited my needs. It was really easy to follow, simply laid out loads of theory in there and put in a way that like I could understand. So I vibed with it, that's what I went for. You've got to go with whatever vibes with you, and there's so many good options out there. I'm sure there's other apps that people can recommend based on what suited their needs. I opted for the electric guitar course, and I specifically chose rock. There are so many options: rock, blues, pop, R&B, soul, country, folk, you know, you name it. You can figure out your own path, but you know, rock's where my heart lies, and that is what I'm gonna be doing. I've signed up for a year because I figured even when I finish this, I can then go through the base course. For me, the things that I'm really interested in are the theory, because theory scares the living out of me. Because I have a history with theory, right? I did theory when I was doing piano. I went through grades 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then stopped at 4 because if I were to do grade 5, I'd have to do a theory test. And I struggled with it. I found it boring and hard. So I need to find something that has a focus on theory in a very accessible and friendly way. And I also obviously want to learn the techniques that I might want to apply to my own music. So I think it's important to think about these things before choosing an app and before going into whatever kind of structure that you want to approach, because different people get into music for different reasons, and some people want to do covers and play all their favorite songs, and other people like myself want to create original music, so the approach will be different. And with my starting point, I do want to start from ground 1, level 1, first lesson, how to hold your guitar, etc., because I don't want to miss out on any fundamental, foundational things that might help me in more complex things as I build. So I'm going to start from like ground zero, as if I'm learning from scratch, hopefully iron out any bad techniques that I may have come up with on my own. And even if I whiz through the first bits, I don't want to miss out on any nuggets that might be really helpful at a foundational level. On Fender Play you have levels, and if I click into the level, then these are green because I've completed them, but you have courses, and in courses you have like a bunch of lessons, right? So you work your way through the lessons, finish the course, go on to the next course, finish all the courses in the level, and then you basically level up to the next level. So I've whizzed through level 1. I thought I would because it's basic guitar, but there are a couple of things that I was really pleased that I didn't skip. Well, first of all, I was holding my pick in an unconventional way. I hate to say wrong, because like, really, is there ever a wrong way to do something if it comes out the way you want it to come out? But I was holding it like this. And I don't know how that might affect me in the future, whether it will hinder or help with different techniques. So I thought I'll do what's recommended, because it's probably a reason why they've recommended it. I hold my pen in an unconventional way, so it's not really a surprise that I naturally pick up things in a different way to other people. Another thing is that I was calling the E chord the A chord, the A chord the E chord, the G chord the C chord, and the C chord the G chord. So basically I've muddled up the names of the chords, which obviously is not going to help me. So I'm glad I got really clear on those. I learned the names of the strings, which is going to help me be able to figure out what the notes are called. So the octave, obviously the octave of an E is an E, and I'm sure that just having that reference will help me figure out other things in the future, so that's been really good. I have also completed level 2, but I learned so much I didn't know in level 2, and I'm actually surprised at how much I'm learning that has really helped me out in such a short amount of time, and how quickly I've been able to grasp it. And I do know that I've been able to grasp it a little bit more quickly because I have a background in music, because I can play piano. Not that I have any of that information retained in my head, but you know, it's there somewhere. In level 2, I learnt the C major scale and the G major scale. I noticed that the G major scale has an F sharp in it, so I'm wondering whether the key of G major has 1 sharp in it, F sharp, because that would make sense to me. And all the parts are starting to slot together for me a little bit more, so that's been great. It's been really great. I also learned my first couple of power chords, and power chords is something that I've never really done. I've always done bar chords up and down the neck, but knowing that I can just pick 2 strings was gonna make my life a whole lot easier. Probably. If you can't tell, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. It's been great. The learning curve has just been like, whew, learned so much in such a short amount of time, and in the areas that I wanted to learn it in. So yeah, I'm very happy with my choice. So I'm diving into week 3 on level 3, and it looks like I'm going to be learning about pentatonic, which is a word I've heard so many times. I think it's got something to do with 5 penta, like pentagram or pentagon, always has like 5 points. So yeah, I have a feeling that's got something to do with 5. But I hear it so often, I'm pretty sure that will be useful. And it looks like I'm going to be diving into rock lead guitar, so I'm excited. If music doesn't make you grin this much, who are you? This is how I know that I'm meant to be doing this, because the joy that it just brings me. I feel like I've sparked. I've found my spark again. I actually think it's really important to figure stuff out for yourself when you want to create music yourself, because using your ear, learning by ear, it is a skill that not everyone has, and if you want to get an idea out of your head and into the real world, then having that skill is really helpful. Just figuring out where the notes are, like being like, So I can say that's like E. Now that I've done a bit of theory, I know that that's G. There's a G string to prove it. I'm just so happy. You know what is nice when you can see the progress? And I know at the beginning, like, there's a lot of progress to be made, but it can happen. Well, it's happening faster than I expected it to. I'm becoming so much more familiar with this instrument. I still have so much to learn about the guitar. If you want to know exactly what prompted this learning of the guitar, then please check out this video. I'm going to put all these guitar learning videos into a playlist, which I will put here, and yeah, there'll be more to come, like the 6 month mark. I want to do the year mark as well, and probably a lot in between, so please do keep an eye on that, and I will see you next time. Yeah, I've got a hot head now.